Okay, so what I'm working on today is for guitar players. I'm trying to keep this short. Every time I do it, it's 15 minutes long. I'm working on two things, and if you're just thought I'd share this. For me, it's a breakthrough of sorts. But for some of you, maybe you already know this and do this. But so we're working on economy picking, as opposed to standard, what I would call standard alternate picking. And so alternate picking, I think everybody knows, if you're a guitar player, your right hand is doing a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up kind of stroke, right? Okay, and if you do that, let's say we're doing 3 notes per string like that. Let's say we're going to do a G major scale, just down at the E string. First mode of G, and if you're doing alternate picking with those 3 notes, you have to go every couple of, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3. Every couple of strings, you have to do this maneuver where you're doing an upstroke as you ascend in the scale. So down, up. That 4th note on C, you have to, we're down here on the 3rd fret, you have to pull up, which is when you get it up to speed, it's really harder to do. To me, it's the hardest thing about fast picking. And you can get good at it, but you know, a lot of guys are really good at it, like Paul Gilbert and John Petrucci and those guys. But economy picking is another way to pick, which is, in the beginning for me, it was impossible to understand. It was impossible to grasp with my hands because it was so opposite of that. It's counterintuitive, but actually it makes more sense. So here's what it is. And rather than going down, up, down, and then up as you go to your C, so down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. There's always an up every couple of strings in that sequence, in that G major scale. We go down, up, down, and since we just went down with our right hand, down, the next note in C, we might as well push on through and hit the C note with the same pick stroke going down. So it's like a little mini sweep. We get a little, sorry. So I'm hitting A, C, sorry, not A, B. What is it? B, yeah, B, C. Right? But I'm doing it in one push, one stroke, da 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 da, it's sliding through. So you get a, like that. So why does that help? Because the next stroke is up on the D, then the E is down again, but we're already going down again. So the next note, F, you do the same thing you did on the first exchange. So we get so you get these little mini sweeps in between there, and that makes it just it's economical. Your hand doesn't have to do these mechanically difficult things that you can get down, but they're harder to do. This is hard because you don't feel like it doesn't natural to what we've been taught, I think is what it is. I think if you never knew better and you learned this from the beginning, it's a lot easier. But now, to get it up to that speed took me forever because of this, because I'm really not good at sweep picking. But I'm getting there because I've always avoided this sweep picking thing. I didn't really. I didn't know what the hell they were doing. I do now, but I didn't know what they were doing, and it was a lot of work to learn that, to get that really finesse preciseness. So this is kind of a bridge between alternate and complete sweep picking, where you got, okay, Now, where that comes in handy is the other part of this video is as a riff that you hear from guys like Joe Bonamassa and Eric Johnson, using economy picking, not only with 3 notes per string, because by the way, 3 notes it works with 3 notes. It doesn't work with 4 notes because of the number of notes. You're not going down as you're hitting the next string. So let's do chromatic just to demonstrate that. A chromatic sequence of just right. Alternate picking works better there because down, up. My last note, the 4th note on this string is to up, so my next one's going to be down anyway. So I might as well just keep using alternate picking. So what I've been noticing, I start thinking in numbers of, and I don't know if everybody does this, I just never did this before. I start thinking in numbers, like of the sequence I'm playing. If I'm going to be doing something like, let's just say, those are 3 notes each. So I know I can use economy picking because I know 3s work. If I was not using, if I was doing some kind of right, I would use alternate picking. So that's just the way I see it. If somebody has any input on that, let me know, any of you guitar players. The last thing is to put this to kind of a riff that I don't know if I learned in a book or just figured it out, but it's kind of that sound you get with Eric Johnson and Joe Bonamassa, which this has to be done at a high speed to get their quality of sound, but this is kind of the same idea. This is just a E pentatonic up here on the 12th fret. So what I do there, I'm going down, up, down, up, down, down. So there's a sweep right there, and I'll just show that to you right here. That's your first sweep right there. So continue on down. There's the second one, and I just use one finger to roll over. There's another one. See? And that's the mechanic of it right there. Down, down, up. Get a so sorry. You do that last one there. And really you can do it anywhere that you're already heading in that direction. That's the trick, is it's not I don't see it as something you always do. It's something that you use. So that riff could not be done at that speed with alternate picking, by me anyway. You get this, and so just a quick demonstration of using that. So I'm going to just do so. alternate. Something like that. So. And so you could apply that idea to anywhere you're doing threes. It's a little different, and it's interesting. I think coming down is a little tricky because you got to start on the upstroke. It does the up mirror image of it, an opposite. Up, down, up. So it is harder to learn at the beginning for me. But why do it? Well, because I think it makes riffs like that. It has its own sound. There you go, a little economy picking lesson. If any of you guys want to give me some pointers on how to improve that or any ideas, let me know. You Greg Nikuras and Johnny Chromatics of the world. Thank you very much.